Hey teacher friends, it's Dr. D. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you my one secret sauce that has kept me in the teaching profession for over 20 years. And you want to know what it is? I do it with my own kids too. It's building student independence. That's right, I've said it. Your students need to know how to do things on their own. And whether you're teaching kindergarten or high school, there's certain things that your kids need to be able to do so that your classroom can move smoothly. But more importantly, these things that I'm going to be sharing with you, these 4 strategies, can really save your sanity, but also give you your time back because there's nothing more than you want to do than after your last class leaves, you're spending the next hour cleaning up, throwing up trash, finding lollipop stuff on the floor and prepping your room for tomorrow. It's just, honestly, it's going to cause a lot of resentment and you'll be burnt out before the end of the school year. Okay, so the first most important thing, and I know you've heard this like 1,000 times, is routines. Remember, routines equal freedom, and you need to build them in the first 2 weeks of school so that students know what to do. It's going to lower their anxiety. It's going to provide students with an opportunity to go into automaticity with routines that help your classroom move smoothly. And what are those things? Turning in homework, transitioning between centers, how to clean up materials. And yes, you're going to teach them in the first 2 weeks of school. And yes, it's going to be a ton of practice. And yes, it's going to give you your time back. All right, tip number 2 that's going to build student independence are anchor charts. These things are more than just wall decor. They're actual posters and scaffolds that your students can reference that you can use in your classroom. So for example, in my math class, I have an anchor chart on how to have a discussion. I have an anchor chart on how to do a number talk. I have an anchor chart on how to find the mean. And so what this really does is it gives my students a reference for them to use when we're doing different routines or we're working on different skills that they need to practice. I just say, hey, why don't you check out the anchor chart? Another pro tip that I love to do is I take a picture of my anchor charts and I post them in Google Classroom. And that way students can see them all throughout the school year. I send a link to the parents so the parents can help their kids at home. And you definitely want to use these daily to help your students before they have to ask you for help. All right, number 3, one of my favorite things to do is to give my students jobs because at the end of the day, they're going to be adults and they need to know how to do a job. But more importantly, it is not my job to pick up after every single kid, sharpen every single pencil, give students a piece of paper for every single thing. And so, you know what? You need to have jobs. And some of my favorite jobs are timekeeper, where the students are managing the time. I have a little bit of ADD, so this really helps me stay on point. Homework collector. I have a cleanup crew. I have a hype captain. They basically just start our class with a daily positive quote or a high five check-in. And jobs are so important because it really tells the students hey, this is your classroom, not just mine. You could definitely do rotations for each of your class periods. I just put them up on my Google Slides presentation every morning so that students know what the jobs are for the week. And jobs are the way to go. And you can, if you want to give them a prize like a lollipop at the end of the day, end of the week for doing a good job, they like that too. So our 4th and final strategy to build student independence is ask 3 before me. And the rule is brain, board, and buddy. And of course, you have to train them on this, right? So ask 3, brain. Did I actually try to figure it out myself? Have I read the questions? Did I try to solve the problem on my own? What do I already know? Board. Did I look at the board? Do I look at the anchor chart? Is there a presentation? What can I look around me to try to figure out what we're doing and what I need to do? And finally, buddy. Can I ask someone in my group? Can I ask a partner or friend? How can I stay connected so that I can be independent? So Brainboard, buddy, ask 3 before me, one of my favorites, definitely game changer. And again, it helps build student independence. Okay, so let's review those 4 strategies that will level up your students' independence: anchor charts, daily routines, class jobs, and ask 3 before me. Brain, board, buddy. And remember, these aren't just classroom management hacks. They're about building capable, confident learners who can thrive with or without you nearby. Don't forget to check out the comments. I've linked a free starter kit to all of these strategies. It includes an editable anchor chart template and an Ask 3 Before Me poster. Let me know in the comments which one you're excited to try. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a teacher friend. See you next time.